So let's talk about some draft or dodge, guys. I mean, obviously, we keep mentioning it's a big draft weekend for everybody. So we're talking about some players that you should target and some that maybe you should let have go to somebody else's roster. So, Florio, who is the guy that you should be talking about drafting this year?
I have not talked about a Bill yet on this show, but I'm going to right now. I want all the Khalil Shakir that I can get this season. I don't think people realize just how good Shakir was last year in his limited role. He led all wide receivers in fantasy points per opportunity as well as yards per target. He had the best catch rate a receiver has ever posted in NFL history, and he clearly earned more and more trust from Josh Allen as the year went on. And that is important, especially early on, because he is the only wide receiver on the Bills roster to catch a pass from Josh Allen in a game, and he is the cheapest. So as a bench receiver, give me Khalil Shakir.
I'm going to go with the old standby, Cooper Kupp. It took me a while to get here, but at some point during the offseason, I said, you know what? I have faith in Cooper Kupp that he's going to be able to get back to some of his lofty standards. He's still a good wide receiver. He had a receiving touchdown in 4 of his last 5 games in 2023. He still had, some good opportunities. And even with Puka Nacua there doing his thing, I think both of them are great. I wouldn't draft them back-to-back in a snake draft ahead of Amon-Ra St. Brown or anything like that. But I think both of those players are very good. And Sean McVay has shown that in his history, he can still support 2 good wide receivers in this offense.
I mean, who would do that?
I don't know.
Can't imagine. I am saying you should
What kind
go
of
out
real world would you be living in?
and draft Ramondre Stevenson. Don't be fooled by the fact that Ezekiel Elliott had more total yards than him last season. Stevenson ended up only playing 10 games because of injury, but still averaged more than 16 touches per game, was targeted on more than 25% of his routes over the last 2 seasons. Antonio Gibson's not going to take away a lot of the rushing work there. And I think with Jacoby Brissett as the starter, at least for the beginning part of the season, when things start to break down, where Drake May might be likely to take off and run, Jacoby Brissett's probably going to dump the ball off, and that can benefit Ramondre Stevenson in the long run. So we got to talk about the guys now that we are maybe avoiding in drafts. And I'm looking at this, and I'm not saying you're wrong, Florio, but this sort of hurts my heart.
Same. This is a sad one. Lockett has been my guy, your guy, for a while now, but I think it's time we pour one out for him. Last season, he had a lot of decline in metrics, including his worst yards per route ran since 2018. And when an aging player shows signs of their age, believe them. His efficiency was always his calling card, so it is especially worrisome with Tyler Lockett. Coming off of a down year, I do think Jackson Smith-Njigba is going to overtake Tyler Lockett this year as the Seahawks wide receiver 2. So even at a reduced cost, I will dodge Tyler Lockett in my drafts.
Marcus, we're in that CBS league with all those guys, Dave Richards and Jamie and everybody. And I got auto-picked Tyler Lockett and I hated it so much. I want to quit the league. I was going to be that guy. I might consider quitting the league if I had also gotten auto-picked Stephon Diggs. Listen, he's a good player. I think he's fine. I think if he was in another team, like if he had gone to Carolina, I would have loved that. Like, oh my gosh, this is a perfect opportunity. But he's going to Texas, where no disrespect, like you don't need him. Like you got Tank Dell, you got Nico Collins, you got the Dalton Schultz. Like, no, we're good. We didn't need that. So I'm avoiding Stephon Diggs this year.
It's
opportunity.
The Texas wide receivers make me nervous trying to figure that out.
I'll just take Stroud instead.
Exactly. I'm saying you should probably avoid Zach Moss this season. Now, Cincinnati's been a pretty low-volume rushing offense the last 2 seasons. Bottom 4 in team rush attempts in each of the last 2 years. And Moss offers very little in the passing game. It's why I'm big on Chase Brown. Career high, 27 catches last year. He's had just 75 catches in 5 seasons. I just don't want a running back splitting time. Maybe he gets the goal line work, but the receptions make me nervous, or lack thereof.